Hi everyone. Our topic today is lighting calculations. Specifically, we're going to cover the Lumen method. When performing lighting calculations, you need to know how to measure light levels, how to determine exactly how much light you need, how to choose that, how do you design to achieve that light level, and then you need to consider the factors for calculating light in a room. This week, we're going to focus on the second two, the last half of these questions. There are two major ways to calculate illuminance within a space. One's called the Lumen method, and one's called the point-by-point method. The Lumen method, which is the one that we're going to focus on today, is generally used to determine the average illuminance in a room, and therefore it's good for ambient lighting. You can estimate how many fixtures are going to be needed for the room, or estimate much illumination, if you've already got the fixtures chosen, how much illumination they will provide. Right? Another name for this particular method is the zonal cavity method. So you might see that in some other literature. And it's also the one used in your textbook. Specifically, box 8.1 is a very detailed example on page 179. The second of your methods to calculate for illuminance is called the point-by-point method, and it's used to determine the illuminance level for a focal point or a specific luminaire. All right, and therefore it's better for task and accent lighting. The point-by-point method can be extremely complex, and we'll talk about that more in the next module. So there's two major ways that you can use the Lumen method. First, you could solve for illuminance level. All right, you've already selected a given lighting design. Now you want to check how much light is being provided by that design. The second method, all right, the second way to use it is to solve for the lumens or the luminaires that are needed. All right, first you determine a target amount of light that you want to use in a space, and then how many fixtures are needed. You've been introduced to the Lumen method last week when we were talking about illuminance. It's defined as the light that makes it to a surface divided by the area of that surface. All right. In a little bit more mathematical terms or formula, we have E, illuminance is the symbol E, equals lumens divided by area. Let's start with that first method of using the Lumen method, all right, solving for an illuminance level. And so we ask ourselves how much light is being provided by a given lighting design. And here's an example. Imagine a room, it's 10 by 15, and it's got 5 downlights placed evenly around the room. Each of those lights emits 1,000 lumens. All right, and so we're going to assume that all 1,000 lumens end up on the floor of the space and ask ourselves what illuminance level can be expected in this room. All right, go ahead and pause the video, bring out your scratch paper, and see if you can come up with an answer. All right, so if you've got 1,000 lumens times 5 lights, you've got 5,000 lumens total, and an area of 150 square feet. Therefore, your illuminance is going to be a little over 33 foot candles. So 33 foot candles is similar to the illuminance level in a residential den or a study or on the desk of a home office. Let's move on to the second way that we use the Lumen method, and that's for solving for the lumens needed in a space or the number of luminaires needed. So how much light is needed in our space? And then once we know that, how many fixtures are needed to light the space? Let's try this same example. It's a 10 by 15 room, and what we want to do is light the floor to an average illuminance level of 60 foot candles. So how many lumens are needed in your room? Let's take a look at these formulas. We already know that illuminance equals the number of lumens divided by the area. All right, you can shuffle that around a little bit and get the lumens needed in this room. Our target number of lumens is going to be the illuminance level target, in this case our 60 foot candles, multiplied by the area in square feet. Go ahead and pause and see if you can solve. All right, we're back. So our target illuminance for this room was 60 foot candles, and our area is 150 square feet. Therefore, our goal, the number of lumens needed for this room is going to be 60 times 150 is 9,000 lumens. We need to introduce 9,000 lumens of light to get the average illuminance level that we're looking for in this room. All right, so we want 9,000 lumens. How do we get it? Assuming that we've selected a luminaire already, all right, we've got one in mind, and it specifically emits 550 lumens, all right? And we're going to make the assumption here that all of the lumens are going to make it to the floor in the space. How many luminaires do you need for this room? Go ahead and pause and see if you can figure this out. All right, let's see if you got the same answer as me. We're looking for how many luminaires we need in this space. And so we're going to divide the amount of lumens that are needed by the lumens emitted per luminaire. All right, 9,000 divided by 550, and we're going to get 16.36. Go ahead and round that up to 17 luminaires are needed. All right, so we've determined that 17 of these specific luminaires, spaced evenly in our 150 square foot space, will yield us the 60 foot candles of average illuminance on the floor. Thanks everybody. In this video, we talked about the different ways of calculating illuminance, and that's the Lumen method and the point-by-point method. And then for the Lumen method, we went into a little bit more detail and talked about the two different ways we use this method in our design work.